Hello! Welcome to another unboxing from The Broken Binding. This is the third subscription box from them, and just like you would expect, it is the third book of the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. Wafer stickers cut already, because tiny wafer stickers on a box that's going international. Why not? But thankfully, there looks to be lots of bubble wrap. Oh, we got extra bubble wrap on the ends this time as well. So that's nice. So wafer stickers be damned. We have bubble wrap. So the Broken Binding is a UK bookseller that specializes in sprayed edges and kind of little fancy enhancements to the book. And they recently offered a subscription. I don't know whose hair this is, but bonus hair, which you can't probably see in the video. Bonus hair in the package. A few months back, they said, hey, we're going to do a subscription box, and we're going to start off with The First Law by Joe Abercrombie. And I love Joe Abercrombie, so I was on board. Just like the previous two titles, we have the book wrapped in paper. Nice little sticker there saying The First Law. And we have better tape on the paper than we did on the box. But you know what? That just means the book is secure, right? So, you know, Customs opens it up. They're going to see, hey, it's this book-shaped object. Pretty book-shaped. And within it, we have Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. Wonderful, wonderful dust jacket, which is kind of emulating the first edition dust jackets. And, of course, I'm taking a peek off the side here. We have our sprayed edges, the third part of the star. Nothing too crazy on the top and bottom. The back, you have nice little blurbs. Just like last time, we have, two times, we have our printed boards. Nothing too fancy. It's kind of just, you know, trade edition boards. We have a nice quote on the side there, you can never have too many knives. Unfortunately, it is just a trade edition spine, kind of glued spine, nothing too fancy. It's a glorified trade edition, if you will. But it has end papers. Look at those. And it has a signature. There we go, number 805 to match my other 805s. There are all the other Abercrombie titles, including Age of Madness. And, oh man, I wonder if they must not have, Glance must not have the Shattered Sea trilogy, because that's not listed on here. But within these pages are just regular pages. It's a trade edition. Oh, you can hear that glue on the spine. Oh, that's so disappointing in that regard. It's a trade edition. Oh man, that's so sad. Yeah, a little disappointing in that regard, but it's cool looking. I'll give it that. I have a trade edition that I've already read, so I'm not actually going to read this trade edition. This is just for show. Oh my god, that sounds so sad. In our third adventure, Logan is taking his battle to the King of the North. Was that the character's name? No, King of the North is Game of Thrones. He's taking his battle up north against the king up there. And Glokta is doing his normal Glokta shtick. And he's just a crazy-ass character. And we have, was it Jezel? Was the other guy's name? You can yell at me in the comments below. I think it was Jezel. He's kind of hanging up his efforts for glory. But anyways, I did bring the other two titles, which I also unboxed on the channel here. We got the blade itself and Before They Are Hanged. And just so we can see all three of them together. You know, I mean, sure, they're trade editions, but look at that. That looks cool. You gotta admit, that does look cool. It might not be as fancy as the other two titles I purchased from them, and I don't necessarily know, I'm not familiar with the next series that they're releasing. My fingers are crossed that before the subscription is done, we might see some more Abercrombie, because that would be awesome. It'd be cool if, you know, they weren't trade editions with glued spines, but we'll see. We shall see. If you haven't read any Joe Abercrombie, seriously, check him out. check them out with the Blade itself, you know, the very first title. Unfortunately, you can't get these subscriptions anymore. They're sold out. There's a wait list, but like start with the Blade itself. It is like fantasy for people who like really dark and gritty fantasy, and it gets dark. We're not talking Robert Jordan. I love Robert Jordan. I love Terry Brooks, but like Joe Abercrombie is dark. Like Mark Lawrence is dark. Joe Abercrombie is dark. So if you like Mark Lawrence, you'll like Joe Abercrombie, and vice versa. If you're not really into high fantasy, you know, thinking the over-the-top kind of fantasy, then this is very down and gritty. So this might be the fantasy for you. Grimdark, as it's called. Like I said, it's a little sad that the spine is how it is there, because the other two have glued spines too, but they, you know, they don't crack upon me opening it. At least they didn't. See? I can open it without it sounding like destroyed, and that, oh, that just, I don't know if you can hear that. That's just sad. All right, but it is what it is. This is not the only edition coming out or being released lately of the First Law trilogy. So Curious King, which is doing these beautiful, beautiful special editions, leather-bound covers, Richard Tong from Lyra's Books and Ludlow's is doing the binding on it. They are doing a very, very special edition of the Blade itself. It sold out immediately, like within an hour. And I grabbed a copy, so yes! So if you want to see me unbox that, it's probably not going to be due out for months, I would say, at the earliest. But please consider liking and subscribing, and one day down the road, I will be doing an unboxing of the Blade itself. I bought the numbered edition and the standard edition of the Curious King editions. So please subscribe to see how that goes. And that is not going to have a glued binding. I feel bad comparing the two because, like, this is, like I said, fancy trade edition, which I'm fine with. I like fancy trade editions. But then you're going to get the high-end fine edition from Curious King. And I can't wait to unbox that and see how that one looks. But anyways, thank you to the Broken Binding, which it is sad that we do have a broken binding on one of the books, apropos to the name. But like I said, it's still very cool to add this to my collection. I like some signed Joe Abercrombie, and I like fancy trade editions, so I'm all for it. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you guys next time.